Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Bow and Arrow Tarot. Today we're going to get right into the weekly reading for the sign of Taurus. Alright, please excuse my cat. She's going to be meowing in the background probably. And this is for January 5th to the 11th. We're going to get right into it, Taurus. For those of you who are new to my channel, thank you so much for stopping by. And my regulars, of course, you know how much I love you. And thank you so much for watching this video. So we're going to get right into it. The drill for the weeklies is that we'll pull out 3 romance angel messages. Then we're going to go ahead and pull out 3 animal spirits. And then we'll get right into your forecast for the week. All right, guys? So let's just see what my lovely Taurus is going through this week. And of course, this reading can't be for all Taurus. So just take what resonates and leave the rest behind, right? Let it go. Check out the other readings for your 2020, which are in the description. Your 2020 general outlook, 2020 love outlook, and your January love reading is up. All right, we have honeymoon. Now this is a general week. The weeklies are general. Ooh, deception. However, I do pull these angel messages just to see the nature of your relationships, and we have true love. Wow. Okay, deception is a card, a message that really doesn't come up often, Taurus. And so it's quite interesting when it does. Let's see what your animal spirits are for this week. We won't know exactly what these messages mean for you until we get into your forecast. All right. Here we go. Now, animal spirits can represent energies that are becoming available to us. They can represent paths or stages that we're about to enter into. They can also represent characters or personality traits of individuals that we're dealing with in our lives, right? And again, take what resonates, and if it doesn't apply, let it fly. There she goes. I love my little cat, but she really does like to freak out during the readings. All right, guys, we have the eagle, strong, powerful air spirit. We have the golden egg associated with the 4th chakra, which is the heart chakra. And we have the bear, earth animal, associated with waking from a slumber, a spiritual slumber. Interesting. All right, guys. So, the eagle. Wow. Air element. The eagle is absolutely a strong, powerful animal spirit. Really encompassing the element of air, but also the element of fire, in the sense that the eagle is so purposeful, right? Its action is all about sort of focusing in, honing in on a particular sort of objective, right? And putting all of its power towards it. With the eagle, we're talking about sort of a single-mindedness that is really unmatched. Perhaps the only other spirit that matches the eagle in this way is the cheetah. The eagle is all-pervading power. He's the great truth seeker. He is really the master of air and fire, as I said. And in a lot of ways, the eagle comes forward in a time in our lives when we are called to be our best selves, right? When we are challenged to be our best selves. Again, like I said, the only other creature or animal spirit in the deck that really matches this kind of energy is probably the cheetah. But the cheetah is more of a fire element animal spirit. The eagle is one of these creatures that's really always seeking the truth about ourselves, about others. And in this way, the eagle talks about transforming karma, right? Change in our lives, right? Bringing out in every situation, no matter how difficult it is, putting everything of ourselves into it to put our best selves into the situation. This is definitely about manifesting your higher goal, right? Manifesting your purpose in life, right? Okay, now the ego is associated with the heart chakra, right? And so, excuse me, the golden egg, it's the ego. The golden egg is associated with the heart chakra and also associated with the elemental spirit, ether or ether. And so it's the golden egg talks about warmth, the necessity for warmth and nurturing to open up that heart chakra, the fourth chakra. And so in this way, we're talking about a situation that is calling for you to really sort of bring your compassion, your empathy, your nurturing, your warmth, so that your heart can be open to communicate its deepest wishes and feelings, right? This isn't about desire. This is about love in the sense of all pervasive love, right? In the sense of, love is the same all over the world. It doesn't matter what culture you come from or what time in history you come from. The heart chakra opening up is the same thing for all of us, right? We all require a certain amount of nurturing, a certain amount of care, a certain amount of warmth and sort of stability to allow that heart chakra to open and to express itself, right? Now, the bear is associated with earth energy, but it is also a really beautiful animal spirit that talks about awakening from a slumber, right? The bear hibernates all winter. And so here this animal spirit really talks about awakening from a spiritual slumber. Because it is an earth element, however, we talk about really bringing the spirit down to the ground in a very practical way, bringing the understanding of the connection between the spirit and the material world. And this sort of awakening, it does feel like oftentimes you're awakening up from a slumber or a sleep, just not being aware perhaps of the connections, but now you are becoming aware of those connections and slowly beginning to understand the nature of them. This is a really strong animal spirit for when we are just starting to walk the path of a spiritual life. All right, guys, let's get right into your spread. We're going to pull out 4 3-card spreads to look at your weekly outlook. Now, these spreads are separate from each other. They are not intended to be for the same Taurus. So you may resonate with one of them or part of one or none of them, and that's fine. Show me what my lovely Taurus sign of the bull is going through this January 5th to 11th. Show me. Judgment, Queen of Wands, Tower. Very nice. Some of you are coming into this week with a judgment energy. Judgment talks about releasing sort of hypercriticism, right? Judgmentality. This is an interesting card because it's really, in a way, it's the name is misleading, right? Judgment is really about releasing judgment, releasing sort of a way of looking at life that is only one way, only looking at a situation or event from your perspective, beginning to understand that every event has multiple sort of experiences of it, right? I can experience the same event completely differently than somebody else who's experiencing it, right? And so understanding that, we begin to understand how we're all connected as humans in that way. And this is how we begin to grow our empathy and our compassion. We begin to release sort of hypercriticism, judgment of others and of ourselves. And so forgiveness comes in, right? Understanding comes in. And oftentimes it can signal a time of reconciliation. And so the softening of your attitude is what you're resonating with this week, Taurus. And you're met with the Queen of Wands. I believe it's quite interesting because this Queen of Wands could be somebody that you've been dealing with. um, who perhaps you had an encounter with before. Perhaps there was some kind of event that you had with this individual. Queen of Wands is, of course, a very emotional, passionate person. Queens are always associated with water. And so with the Queen of Wands, we have the watery aspect of fire. And so her emotions and her passion, her drive in life are connected. She's one of the highest cards for self transformation. She integrates her experience into her spirit and into her character and her soul, in a sense, so that she can gain wisdom and understanding. She can oftentimes be a teacher to people, a sort of a wise one, as it were, right? But she's very cagey. She doesn't teach everything to everyone. She doesn't show herself to everyone. And in fact, the Queen of Wands really hides a lot of her brilliance, because she's always reminding herself of a time or of a place, I'm going to say, where she was at before, right? This can be representing a little bit of that bear energy, right? Because the Queen of Wands was not always the Queen of Wands. She became the Queen of Wands through her experience. At one point in her life, she was the bear, just waking up from a slumber and just beginning to understand the connection between the spirit and the real world, the material world. And so she hides her true brilliance so that she can be approachable, right? The high priestess is almost unapproachable. She gives you nothing. As an example, the Queen of Wands makes herself approachable to those, instead of being so, brilliant that, you are afraid of her. Yet and still, she doesn't give her knowledge to everyone, and she can often be misunderstood. I think this is somebody that you were dealing with, Taurus, and I think that perhaps this is somebody that you really wanted to have in your life, perhaps that you care for, you have a lot of respect for, but something went on. Maybe there was a misunderstanding. And in any case, there's a feeling of reconciliation that you're coming into the week with, and she's coming to you with an openness. However, you round the week off with a Tower energy, and it's almost as if, to me, I feel very strongly that there's all three animal spirits are almost at play here, right? You're the releasing of judgment is almost like the golden egg energy, an understanding of empathy and compassion coming in, you know, um, and this understanding and this event that happens this week, this coming together that you have of each other. You may see each other, talk to each other, whatever the case may be. It opens up your eyes to a big realization here with the Tower moment. What you believe to be true of a particular situation, you find out is not the case at all. You have King of Pentacles, the Empress, and the Ten of Wands. So some of you are coming into this week King of Pentacles energy, right? So you're the one resonating with that sort of abundance. You're very strong in your career, your business. You are a manifester of the highest order in the material world. The King of Pentacles is someone who's oftentimes a benefactor, a mentor. This can also be sort of an investor, right? You are sort of like the master of realizing your dreams in the here and now, in terms of building your dreams, manifesting your dreams in a very concrete way. If you've created a business or a social center, or a career, whatever the case may be, this is, of course, the King of Pentacles is the master of that, right? And you're coming up to an Empress energy. So for some of you, this is perhaps true love coming in. Empress energy, of course, is representing your divine feminine energy. And of course, my readings are not gender specific or sexual orientation specific. So we're just talking about energies here. But this is a very nice aspect. I feel it. It feels very warm. Golden egg. It feels really beautiful. Feels like possible true love. And so you coming up against this Empress energy rounds your week off with a Ten of Wands. And you're able to lay down some burdens. It feels to me like this Empress could be softening some of your rougher sides here, you know. She is associated, of course, with beauty and love and the ability to sort of mirror the qualities on the inside with her environment. And so you, of course, Taurus, coming in with this energy of King of Pentacles, you want to give her everything that she deserves, right? You want to sort of make her environment comfortable, put her in the lap of luxury. Why? Because you care so much. There's a lot of love here, and it feels like a real release. This Ten of Wands feels very much like this Empress is your path to laying down perhaps some baggage, some burden that you've been carrying for a long time, perhaps even some self-esteem issues or some baggage that you've been holding on to. Perhaps you thought you could not really be in love, or perhaps you thought no one could truly love you, you know. You're very sort of you're very grounded in the material world. And so this can also be perhaps a feeling of bare energy, in that this Empress individual, this person has the quality, the nurturing and warm quality of the golden egg that is allowing you to open up spiritually, to perhaps to come out of a spiritual slumber and begin to find your true path. And all of this results in a release of burden and oppression for you. Three of Wands, star energy, Page of Wands. Some of you coming in this week with a Three of Wands energy, and Three of Wands is the card for virtue and, of course, patience, right? Three of Wands happens when life is teaching us to be extremely patient about the next step, right? You're probably raring to go, but something has occurred and it's forcing you to take a real look at the lay of the land before you make your decision. Oftentimes, Three of Wands happens when we need to make room for something else coming into our life, or we need to slow down or stop even to allow something else very important to your future to come in. And usually, once that thing, event, person, whatever it is that needs to come in, and sort of the timing needs to align with your timing, you will know exactly what that is. You will understand the nature of it. This is very much one of these cards where at first you may not understand why you're standing still. Wow, hang on. Sorry about that. Of course, there's a kid walking by my building just making noises. It's so funny. Sometimes it makes me giggle. But in any case, the Three of Wands is one of these cards that at first you feel like you're not sure of why it's happening, but eventually you always find out the nature of why it had to occur. So you're coming into this week kind of being, you know, being forced to slow down, wait for a moment, and you come up with star energy in the sense that things become available to you this week that sort of fine tune your path to your goal, fine tune the path to your ultimate wish for yourself, your ultimate desire for yourself. You're always sort of aware, step by step, what you need to do to sort of manifest your hopes and dreams. And so, like I said, this weekend, something is going to happen for some of you, Taurus, that's going to show you the next step much more clearly, and show you the next step towards actually achieving your true dreams, right? And you round the week off with a Page of Wands, which is a sense of renewed energy, right? The Page of Wands has overcome fear. And it could be that in some area of your life, while you do believe you were really being sort of proactive, there may have been some area in your life where you were still a little bit afraid, or perhaps holding on to a little bit of fear or apprehension. Well, the events this week allow you to absolutely overcome that fear. And it really kind of opens up a whole new way of looking at your path, right? And so by the end of the week, you absolutely realize why you needed to slow down, because Page of Wands energy is very idealistic. It is very sort of free, very unafraid, and could definitely indicate that an expansion of your original goals in a way that maybe you did not expect. This is going to be your last spread. Justice, Five of Pentacles, and the Six of Swords. Okay, so some of you coming into this week with Justice energy, it's a feeling of wanting to rebalance something, or wanting to sort of address an injustice perhaps in your life. Justice is, of course, associated with Libra energy. And like I said, rebalancing, but it can also represent actual judgments or decisions that have come in. And it could very well be that some kind of official event has happened or will be happening that's causing you in the short term to experience a financial burden. Five of Pentacles is a power struggle that results in a divide or a split. That results in an alienation from a group or a person that you were previously attached to. And Five of Pentacles almost always is very much a sort of small setback, right? Or even a large setback sometimes. This can be eviction or homelessness, in the truest sense of the word sometimes, but it always results in greater prosperity later, greater opportunities later, greater options later that would not have been available to you had you stayed in this power dynamic. So I always call this my 2 steps backward, 10 steps forward card. It's tough in the beginning. You have to pick yourself back up and dust yourself off, but the outcome is amazing. By the end of the week, you round off with a 6 of Swords, which is a real sort of opportunity and decision to move forward with your life, just as I have said just now, in a way that brings you closer to harmony, that brings you closer to people that are like-minded. It's a real awakening in a lot of ways. And I think for some of you, definitely bear energy again comes in, right? A feeling of waking up from a slumber and realizing perhaps a truer path to what you desire. There may have been deception involved, right? That has, this event has opened your eyes to perhaps to deception from people that before you thought you were very close-knit with. In any case, by the end of the week, you find yourself with a golden opportunity to really move forward in a way that allows you to turn your back on strife, allows you to turn your back on struggling. And some of you may actually be moving home or moving to different cities, moving to different environments. But in any case, it is a breath of fresh air, certainly after this initial kind of period of difficulty. All right, Taurus, this is your reading for January 5th to the 11th. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like and subscribe. All of that really helps me to grow my channel. If you enjoyed my style of reading or the way that I read the cards, let your other friends know, your family know, share the video. Again, all of that really helps me to expand and continue to provide you these videos. If you want to get a private reading, you can follow the links at the top of your screen. But for right now, Taurus, have a wonderful week, and I'll see you next week for the weeklies. Bye-bye now.